Hey up lads and lasses, Danfire here, back again with some more GR2 content for you today. So we're going to look at the tier list again for ships, but just quickly before we do, don't forget to like, comment and share. And yeah, all that good stuff. It helps the channel out, helps me out, and yeah, not much else to say about that really. Anyway, yeah, so we're looking at the tier list. We're going to move some stuff around. You just saw me put some stuff up here. I'm just trying to work out where to put stuff at the moment. I'm pretty certain it's something like that. Really? Because the monster's broken. Projectile weapons are absolutely busted. There's only two ships you need in this game, Tornado and Monster. So unless they nerf projectiles by, I think, about 20% damage and then increase lasers and missile and torpedo damage by 20% and remove ammo costs, the Monster's just going to be the outright best ship in the game, and there's no balance to it at all. I've seen Monsters dealing 3 million damage in a minute now, and Legions, the most I've seen is about 2 million. So yeah, even a 20% nerf on this, which is 3 million cumulative damage, brings a monster down to 2.4 million damage, so it's still massive. So a 20% increase will bring the Legion, in theory, up to 2.4 million damage as well, and then you'd have a balance. Missiles, I haven't seen quite as much damage, but then they got the added range benefits and stuff that they have. So there is a reason for that. Immortal gets dropped as well, again for the same reason. With monsters prevalent within the arena and everywhere else, the Immortal just dies because penetration is broken. That needs changing, or other ships adding other weapon types getting a penetration style weapon as well. But the fact that all projectiles can penetrate, I don't know. Red Dragon's good. We're going to move the King up to A. I really like the King now. I've been testing this out myself a little bit after I've seen some builds, and yeah, it's actually quite good. It's a weird mix of half UAV, half missile, and it works quite well. So yeah, not much more to say about that. Unicorn, that's D tier. I've been testing it out on S33. It's absolutely pants. After loads and loads of testing, it really does only fire 2 weapons, because you need to keep it frontal for the damage increase. So it only fires 2 weapons. I know it can't go sideways. It can't shoot sideways, so it has to be frontal anyway. So 2 weapons every 5.5 seconds. Yeah. Compared to every other battleship, which on a broadside does 4 weapons. So it's half the damage at its most capable. Half the damage of every other battleship in the game. So yeah, I don't recommend it. It's terrible. The shame as well, because it looks pretty cool. We have the Centurion down here. We're going to move this up to B tier. That warship ability that allows it to increase the duration of buffs from the likes of a Global Command CN. Really powerful now. The build at the current moment is triple monster and a Centurion is what I've seen quite often now, or triple monster tornado. And yeah, the Centurion giving, 70% increased duration on all of the monsters' crits and resistances is, it's really good, really good. But yeah, I think that's about it really for changes currently. So we'll get to it. So we have the Epos. So now the Epos has obsidian armor, which gives it a flank reduction, so it's reduced damage by 30% on its sides. It has the similar ability to the Fenrir with its torpedoes, having a 30% to fire extra shots, basically. So what this does is, if it triggers, it basically fires the weapon a second time. So it's kind of like Jim's ability, less like the UAVs, which kind of gives you a clone of a UAV. This doesn't clone a single missile, it just fires the weapon a second time. So it's kind of like Jim's ability a bit more than the Fenrir. Makes it absolutely gush out DPS, and almost on par with the Monster. But the biggest issue on it, torpedoes have like 30 shots or 40 shots or 50 shots, and then it's useless. So in arena, I can see it being used. Oh yeah, and the last one has phase transfer coating. This is the same as the red dragon, so it ignores the first 13 instances of damage. That's not 13 damage, 13 instances of damage. So that could ignore a T-Nuke, for example, or a Dustmaker or Comet Torp. It'll just ignore the damage, shake it off like it never happened. Which actually makes the ship fairly tanky, on top of the fact that it's got similar stats maxed out as the monster with its shields and durability. So that little extra phase coating and stuff like that does help a little bit to make it tankier. On top of that, it is very fast, and with a long-lasting thruster on it, it goes like the wind. It's like a cruiser, just like... Actually, it's faster than a cruiser, just constantly flying around with a thruster on, which is actually quite nice. So yeah, but it's not a monster, so it goes in A tier. We then also have the new Phoenix. So I haven't personally got one of these. I know one or two people that do, and we've been looking at it and testing it a little bit. It has obsidian armor, which gives, again, flank reduction by 25%. That's 25% less damage when hit on the side. It has the global combat platform, which is the one that came out in Chinese and has now been translated. And it says, when in the first position of the fleet as the flagship aircraft, all UAV damage in the team increases by 22%. Now, I read this as, if you've got your fleet in the little screen where you've got your 4 ships before you go into battle, if you have it in the leftmost position, I'm guessing that means it's the flagship. I think that's where this ability takes into effect. And it's actually not a bad ability. If you consider a Fenrir, which on average has about 50% damage increase from having, well, yeah, about 50%. It's about 43% actually when it has 3 UAVs out. 3 extra UAVs on top of the other 7 or 8 that you've got slotted into it. So if you're giving all those 8 another 22% damage increase on top of subsystems, etc., you can actually get a lot of damage out of these UAVs. And I've been toying with the idea of running a Phoenix, 2 Fenrirs, and some kind of destroyer. Probably the Lynx, which I think's this one. As the Lynx has projectile weapons, and projectile weapons are busted. So yeah, potentially with a Lynx as an extra source of DPS. Could work quite well. So yeah, it's an interesting ability. It does unfortunately struggle a little bit. It's got weird slot positions a little bit, but you can fairly easily fit it for a bit of UAV, bit of laser, and a tactical down below, or just put more UAVs to take advantage of this 22% flat damage increase off its warship feature. Other than that, it has basically, it's a Princess Leia for itself. Below 40% durability, it restores 40% durability. Only triggers once. Which makes me think that the Immortals can potentially, the shield one, can potentially trigger multiple times. Because it doesn't say triggers once, but I haven't been able to test this as of yet. But yeah, so it makes it quite tanky. It's got quite high durability. It's quite fast for a carrier as well, although it's big, so that's not going to matter too much. It looks horrible, in my opinion. It looks like a flying block of flats with a weird ring strapped to it. It's an odd-looking ship. But yeah, I think it's potentially A tier with the Fenrir setup. But because of the laser torp mix, it's probably closer to B tier. It's probably sort of in between B tier. In the carrier fleet setup, it's going to be A tier for certain. And whether that setup will make the difference and be able to destroy 3 monsters, I have no idea yet. No one's got 2 Fenrir that I know of that are maxed out, and definitely no one has Phoenixes maxed out yet. So it'll be interesting to see if that development of maybe a pure UAV spam build might be able to tackle monsters. In theory, you can send the UAVs off and then just kite the monsters backwards, so it's potentially possible. And yeah, monsters are squidgy, and you got 2 Fenrirs, you're running a lot of EM damage. So yeah, it's potential. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this tier list update, and yeah, have a good one, and I'll catch you guys next time.